Hi, and a warm welcome to Winners Corner Sunday. We're continuing the great sport in the V75 at Axvalla Racetrack. And of course, today, the main event being Storchampionatet, the final. What a great race this is, Mike.
It is a really good race. I think almost all the ones that were expected to be in the race are there. Not very many have missed in the qualifiers, so it's a really high-grade race for the 4-year-old mares.
And of course, we have a great V75 coming at you, but we're starting off with some individual bets, of course. We're starting off in race 5, which marks the start of the V75. What do you have for us here?
This is the consolation for the mares who didn't quite make it all the way to the final. And one that really impressed me in the elimination was number 1, Amalia Cash. Incredible performance, went off stride, lost a lot of ground. With 500 meters to go, the horse was last and went 3 wide for Örjan Kihlström and finished fantastically. Didn't make it all the way to the final, came in 3rd there, would have needed to be picked up a 2nd place, but great finish over the stretch and showed fantastic form. Now there are 3 minuses here. One's Jörgen Westholm, the trainer, is driving himself instead of Örjan Kihlström. That's a bit of a minus. The horse is going to be racing with shoes. That's a bit of a minus, and she's not fast enough to protect the inside. So a lot of things that worry me.
That's a lot of minus.
Yeah, but I've got a feeling that she's going to be a little bit overlooked. And with the form she showed last time, it feels like an interesting bet.
So if you want to follow Mike's advice, go for a win bet there in the 5th race. We're turning the page to race number 8, and this is a race for amateur drivers, 2,140 meters. These are your colleagues. Who's going to win?
One of the more experienced ones is Niklas Benson. I really like the way he drives, and he's got a good horse here. He's not one of the favorites by far. Number 3, Enjoy Avenue. Looked really strong last time when the horse was out at Arvika on an 800-meter track, half-mile track, won from an outside position and showed form. This is a pretty strong horse. He's won a lot of races, but usually against much easier competition. So he really moves up in class quite a bit today. But with the most experienced driver and with a good post here, and I'm pretty sure the tempo is going to be way overpaced here with all these optimistic amateurs. I think that Niklas Benson can keep his cool and the horse can finish strong.
Sounds like a great win bet to me. Now, let's take a look at the 9th race. And this is a really long distance race. It's 3,140 meters. Who's going to prove to be the strongest one?
If he stays trotting, I think number 4, Carmine Am, has a good chance. Number 4 is a bad position with the circular system, but this time he's got no one on the outside, so that means that driver Marcus Svedberg can take it a bit easy in the start and just make sure the horse goes away. 4 races ago at Mantorp, the horse came back after a long training period. It was absolutely wonderful. After that, he's put in a couple of decent performances, but failed a few times, so I think he's going to be quite overlooked this time. My bettors usually, when a horse doesn't perform a couple of times, they tend to forget about him and you get good odds on him. So I really like the situation here with Carmine Am, who's definitely one of the stronger horses. If he goes to the front and keeps a good tempo, he's a nice outsider.
He sure is. Now let's take a look at the 11th race. And you have a really interesting show bet here. You're kind of sticking your neck out because it's an overlooked horse.
Definitely. I'm trying to find these that give good value for money. Number 1, Alsace Precious, is exactly that kind of horse. Last time he was out in the King's Trophy, and after a good qualifier when he won from the outside position, he showed fantastic form there. He was in deep water, of course, in the final and went off stride as well. But with the form he showed in the qualifier there, I think if he just maintains that form a bit, he really moves down in class quite considerably this time. And from an excellent post as well, I don't see why he shouldn't be a contender. I think he's got a chance to win it, but definitely an interesting show bet from the good post.
It definitely is. Let's take a look at the daily double. Of course, it's handed out in races 10 and 11, and it contains the main event of the day, the final of Storchampionatet. And what a race this is, Mike.
It's a fantastic edition. I know you say this almost every year, but it feels like one of the strongest that we've had in a long time. Very even field, but 3 horses really stand out a little bit to me. Number 2, Ultra Bright, is a really tough horse and definitely one of the top 3. Darling Miraz, the second one, winner of the Oaks last year, and well, not defending champion, but one of the more experienced ones. And then number 5, Cash Crow. Such impressive races all the time, so strong. So those 3 are going to be on my daily double.
So 3 horses in the first leg of the daily double. Are you going to stick to your guns in race 11?
Yeah, I'm going for the outsider. I'm going to bank number 1, Alsis Precious. I think we're getting good odds on that daily double there, even with the 3 favorites in the first leg.
So a high-quality daily double there with a final Storchampionatet in the first leg. And of course, this makes 3 combinations for the daily double. Now, let's take a look at the Pick 7 V75 handed out in races 5 through 11. And of course, we have looked at both your bankers. You start off with one and you end with one. But there's 2 races that kind of stand out. Looks a little bit difficult to solve. The second leg, please help us.
Yeah, in the second leg, we got 2 really good horses on the 20-meter tier. It's always difficult to start with a handicap on these fast summer tracks, but number 11, Hoch, there it is, Sox, and number 13, Mac Dragon, moves down in class quite a bit, so I think they have a good chance despite the handicap.
And third leg, also a lot of horses.
Yeah, this one's real open. Number 4, Beaten at the Devil F, is not all that much worse than any of the others, and that's a horse down at 1%. So the third leg on the V75, I would have loved to mark all the horses, but I couldn't afford it.
So you had to cut some off.
Yeah, but we got a couple of real nice outsiders there, especially number 4.
And that, of course, makes 480 combinations for Mike's V75 system this Sunday from Axvalla Racetrack. Well, folks, that's all for now. For more information, please visit our website, SwedishHorseRacing.com. And, of course, we wish you the best of luck and have a really great Sunday.